Lily's laughter echoed through the golden cornfield, her small hands brushing against the tall stalks as she played in the late afternoon sun. It was a day like any other, until she vanished without a trace. For years, her mother, Margaret, searched endlessly, holding on to hope that her little girl would come home. The town whispered, the police gave up, but Margaret never did. Then, a decade later, while cleaning out an old pig barn on the edge of their farm, she found something that made her blood run cold. The truth had been buried for 10 years. Now, it was about to be uncovered. Margaret had always been protective of her only daughter. Their life on the farm was simple but beautiful. Every morning, they would gather eggs, tend to the animals, and in the afternoons, Lily would run off to play in the cornfield. It was her favorite place, a world of adventure where she imagined herself as an explorer, a warrior, a queen ruling over golden waves. Then, one evening, Lily did not come home. At first, Margaret thought she had lost track of time. She called out, expecting her daughter to come running from the field, giggling about some grand discovery. But as the sun dipped below the horizon and darkness swallowed the land, fear gripped her heart. The search began that night. Flashlights flickered through the towering corn stalks. Neighbors and police combed the land, calling Lily's name. But there was no trace, no footprints, no torn fabric, nothing. It was as if the earth had swallowed her whole. Days turned into weeks, then months. The search teams dwindled, the media moved on, and the town whispered their theories. Some believed she had been taken, others thought she had wandered too far and gotten lost. A few even murmured that Margaret was to blame, that she had done something terrible to her own child. But Margaret knew her daughter was out there, somewhere. For 10 years, she lived with the torment of not knowing. The ache of an empty bedroom, the deafening silence of a home without laughter. Then, one autumn morning, while preparing to sell the farm, she stumbled upon the old pig barn. It had been abandoned for years, its wooden beams sagging with age. As she stepped inside, the musty air filled her lungs, dust swirling and the sunlight streaming through broken windows. And then she saw it. A small, carved message on the back of a wooden beam. "MOM, I am still here." Margaret's breath caught in her throat. Her hands trembled as she traced the letters, her heart pounding against her ribs. The handwriting was childish, uneven, undeniably Lily's. A decade's worth of grief, guilt, and desperation surged through her at once. She had searched everywhere, except here. Frantically, she began pulling away the stacks of old crates and rusted tools, her fingers scraping against the rough wood. Then she saw it, a loose wooden panel on the far side of the barn, barely noticeable behind the clutter. With shaking hands, she pried it open. A small, hidden space lay beyond. The air was stale, the floor covered in dust and straw. And in the corner, something caught her eye, a tattered pink sweater, the same one Lily had worn the day she disappeared. Margaret clutched the fabric to her chest, sobs racking her body. Lily had been here. Then she noticed something else, a pile of yellowed papers, scribbled drawings, and crude carvings on the wall. The drawings were simple, childlike, a house, a son, a mother and daughter holding hands. But it was the words scratched into the wood that sent a chill down her spine. "He comes at night. I'm scared. Why did you not find me?" Margaret felt the world tilt around her. Someone had kept Lily here. Someone had hidden her just feet away from home. But if she had been here, where was she now? Desperate for answers, Margaret ran to the sheriff's office, clutching the sweater like a lifeline. The case, long gone cold, was reopened. Investigators swarmed the barn, analyzing every inch, dusting for fingerprints, searching for clues. Then, they found something even more horrifying. A small, rusted trapdoor beneath the straw. It led to an underground room. A place of darkness, fear, and silent screams. The hidden room beneath the barn was cold, damp, and reeked of decay. Chains hung from the walls, a single rotting mattress in the corner. The air was suffocating, thick with the echoes of past horrors. Margaret could barely stand as investigators uncovered more clues. A set of children's shoes, scraps of torn blankets, and then a notebook. Its pages were filled with shaky, desperate writing. "Mom, I miss you. He says I cannot leave. I heard your voice today. I screamed, but you did not hear me." Margaret fell to her knees. The barn had been searched years ago, but no one had thought to look beneath. DNA tests confirmed what she already knew. The evidence belonged to Lily. But if she had been alive long enough to write these messages, what had happened to her? A deeper investigation revealed a horrifying truth. The land had once been home to a farmhand, a man who had worked for Margaret's family years before Lily's disappearance. He had vanished not long after Lily went missing. Neighbors recalled seeing him linger near the cornfields, always watching, always waiting. Authorities tracked him down to a neighboring town. What they found in his home sent shivers through even the most seasoned officers. Photographs of Lily, spanning years. Locks of her golden hair preserved in small jars. And a diary, his confessions. He had taken her, kept her, hidden her beneath the barn, just feet away from home. And when the police had searched, he had moved her, keeping her just beyond reach. Then, one day, she was gone. No body was found. No definitive proof of her fate. Only the chilling realization that she had spent years in captivity, waiting for a rescue that never came. Margaret's heart remained heavy. She had answers, but not the one she wanted most. Was Lily still out there? Or had she met a fate too terrible to imagine? The farm was no longer a place of solace. The cornfields, once golden and full of laughter, now felt like grave markers of a stolen childhood. Margaret could not leave without a final act. She returned to the barn, clutching Lily's old sweater. Kneeling before the wooden beam where her daughter had left her last message, she whispered, "I am here, baby. I will always be here." The town mourned with her. A vigil was held, candles flickering in the night, illuminating the fields where Lily had once played. But even as the case closed, the whispers remained. Some claimed they saw a girl wandering the fields at night, her silhouette flickering between the cornstalks. Others said they heard soft cries carried by the wind. And every so often, Margaret would wake in the middle of the night, a voice echoing in the darkness. "Mom, I am still here." Some mysteries are solved. Some wounds heal. But others linger like ghosts, forever haunting those left behind.